Welcome back to another tips video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can FTP your data if your folder structure has long paths. Now, long paths are becoming less and less problem as file systems as well as operating systems support it better and better. However, we still have a problem when we try to copy something or make a dir list and we get an error, path is too deep. Now, why do we get that error when users were able to use their computers just fine and they didn't have this problem? And why are we having this problem? Well, whenever you use a computer and you put data on your C drive, you put things in the folders and you folder and the folder and the folder. And if the folder structure gets too deep, you'll get a message saying, okay, you reached the maximum. And then you as a user would say like, okay, I don't need that many folders. You sort of back off. And then you folder it as the system allows you to. However, once the data is collected and extracted, you would normally put it into additional folder structure that didn't exist before. So now, whatever user had certain folder structure that was already maxed out, now you're trying to add more folders to it. And that's generally the reason why we're having these long path issues. Because when we get the data from a client, we want to put it on our server in a folder with a client name, then we want to make a folder for the meta name, then maybe make a folder for a date when it was received, and sometimes there are more folders. So let's say you are stuck with data that's got really long paths and you need to FTP it to your data center or somewhere else. Now, first thing you may want to try is zipping it up. It may or may not work. Sometimes it'll zip up to a certain point and it'll error out. So let's pretend that that's the situation you're in. You're not able to zip up your data and you can't use a robocopy command to copy it to your data center simply because, well, robocopy doesn't support FTP. So let's figure out how we can create a container for data with long paths, put all the data in, and then transfer that data over. All right, I think I've been talking for too long. Let's go to a computer and let's see how we can do it. So first thing we need to do is create a container. Well, we know the zip container is not going to work. The other option we can go with is a TrueCrypt container, but people are down on TrueCrypt because they say it's insecure, which I completely disagree with, but that's not the point. Let's assume that's what it is. We are going to make a virtual hard drive that's supported by Windows. So we're going to right click on this PC and we are going to click on Manage. Now, when we click on Manage, we'll be greeted with a computer management screen. Here, we'll see disk management. And when we click on it, we'll see all our hard drives. Now, what we're going to do is create a new virtual hard drive. So I'm going to say create VHD. And I'm going to put it on my, sorry, it's cutting off. So I'll just put it on my desktop called test. I'm going to hit save. And then we can assign certain size to it, or we can make it automatically expand. So we can do dynamic expanding, VHD, and how many gigabytes, megabytes. I'm gonna keep it really small, but you want to allocate appropriate amount of data you need, well, unless you're going with dynamic. So click OK, and now we have a virtual hard drive. So now we have to initialize it, click OK, and then we're going to create a volume. Again, all the things are like default, so you don't have to worry about them too much. So we had to assign the D drive, and we're going to say label to FTP. We're going to perform quick format, click on finish. And so now we have a D drive here, which is ready for us to use. Now, if we switch to my computer here, you see I have a folder called long path, and I have lots of folders here. And I know this is a problem because I tried copying it before. We'll also notice that you have a D drive here. So let's use a robocopy command. I'm going to go to V, and we're going to use robocopy /E, and we're going to take data from V, long path, and we're going to copy it to D drive. Press enter, and we get a message that yes, this data got copied. So let's switch over to our D drive, and we can confirm that the data does reside on this drive now. All right, so now we have our data on the D drive. We can disconnect this virtual hard drive. We're going to eject, and so now that D drive is gone, so we can navigate to my desktop. So this is our test, our virtual hard drive. So now we can take this VHD file, FTP that over, and then once we get to the other computer, we go through the same process. We're going to go to Action, Attach VHD. We're going to browse to our file, and then it will become a virtual hard drive. And then you can either process data directly from that drive or use Robocopy to copy to your server. All right, I hope that explains how you can transfer your data with long paths through an FTP. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you on the next video.